Hello, everybody. This is Bruce from Oregon with the Bruce from Oregon Show. This is episode 0. It might be the first, it might be the last. Who knows? Nobody knows. Anyway, today I've got for you a quick video in my Management Best Practices series. We are going to talk about how challenges can be reframed as opportunities as a manager. Okay, now today we are joined by our guest Moose. We've got Moose on the Loose. I didn't realize that this was a book. I should order one of these. Maybe it's a kid's book, but we're all kids at heart, right? Who knows? Where's my mouse? There it is. Let's go over here. What do we got? Maine moose? I mean, are there a lot of moose in Maine? I bet there are. Moose on the Loose. Oh boy, I need that for my vehicle. Oh my gosh, look at this. E-games, Moose on the Loose. Is this CD-ROM software? I don't even know if I could load a CD-ROM onto my computer anymore, guys. Does anybody have a CD-ROM drive in their computer? Holy heck. That's getting to be dated technology. The Moose is Loose. Here's another book. Oh boy. So this is fun. In any case, but what we're going to do today is talk about how challenges are opportunities in disguise and how you can approach this idea of reframing as a manager, or even if you're just an individual contributor, it could be interesting as well. And I'll go through some examples from my own career in order to help illustrate this and give it my own personal touch. All right, let's get into it. So the Google AI overview, which can be hit or miss. Let's not fool ourselves. But, it usually does a pretty decent job. It says, the saying, challenges are opportunities in disguise, means that difficulties can be viewed as chances to learn, grow, and develop new skills. By reframing challenges as opportunities, people can adopt a growth mindset and look for potential solutions. And then they have there's actually an image here, challenges are opportunities in disguise, from the old PowerPoint template. If anybody remembers that old template, oh gosh, I think I may have made a presentation or two using that template back when I was working. Okay, now they give some good examples here, and we're going to go through these one at a time. Here are some benefits of viewing challenges as opportunities. Personal development. Overcoming challenges can lead to a greater resilience and a sense of accomplishment. Yeah, and I think I've told this story before, but when I was sort of a newer employee, I was working on my day job. And of course, I had things I wanted to get done during the quarter or during the year. And I was working on those things, sort of the bread and butter tasks of the job. Now, I was working with a team that was very matrixed. And so a lot of things I was doing for that team that was very busy on that project. Now, my manager at the time was a technical leader, and he was trying to solve a problem for our next product. And he had a very interesting sort of disruptive idea. And he wanted to rally support from people at the company to work on this radical idea, a more revolutionary idea than an evolutionary idea. And he was going around doing that. And of course, I would eventually work on this future project, but currently I was working on the current project. But he said, why can't we should spend some time on this future looking thing, because we need to get people rallied around it now, or else we're going to miss the window of opportunity here. And, I would sit and eat lunch with some people that I worked with in another division, and they were a little more senior than me, a little more experienced than me. And I was kind of complaining about this problem, like, oh my gosh, there's this new thing coming up. I've already got all this stuff to do for the current project. I can't do two things at once. Like, this is crazy. And the guy I was eating lunch with said, look, if this new thing works, it's going to solve a huge problem and it's going to be super valuable. So you can spend all your time, dotting the I's and crossing the T's on Project N, which it's probably going to be fine now anyway. But if you spend your time on this new thing and it turns out to be really disruptive and really help, then that's going to be more effective use of your time. Okay. So the conversation with him really helped me reframe the problem of, why would I work on this thing that may never happen? Why should I spend time on something that isn't here yet? I have other things to do. I don't have time for this. It really helped me reframe the problem in my mind so that I could prioritize my time and manage my time more effectively in order to spend more time on the new project. And that new project, I received one of the highest technical awards that the company could give out. And our team got, these amazing awards for this project because it did work out and we got it done. And it solved problems that couldn't be solved any other way. So that really was a challenge for me that became an opportunity in disguise and led to greater personal development, led me to understand how I can apply resilience to manage my time, prioritize my tasks, as well as a sense of accomplishment, getting amazing awards during that project. Now, the number two bullet, new skills. People can learn new skills and expand their knowledge. And this is true. We had a bunch of tools in the teams that I worked with that were written with software. And the point wasn't to create a tool and sell it or to create a tool in software and have another team use it. The point was for us to use our tools ourselves. So we were not only making our own tools, we were using our own tools. So we had to create them in order to use them. And, I would say iteratively over time, writing software is sort of a skill. And over time, I got better and better at it. The more I practiced it, the more I did it. And in the beginning, the software I wrote was pretty terrible. Later on, it got better with each revision for each new product that we did. But we got to a point where our software was kind of unmanageable or untenable. And another team had some solutions, some learning opportunities to try and learn new techniques for software development, new best practices, similar to my video series here, except for software in the software domain. And at the beginning, a lot of people in the team were very resistant to it because they had misconceptions about what this training even was or whether it would be valuable. And at some point, I don't know what happened, but I basically got to the point where I was talking to the person who wanted to facilitate this training, and they convinced me somehow to go. And I was one of the few people to start in the earliest sessions. And I very quickly realized that this was a big benefit, this facilitated training for our organization that everybody should take. Okay. And it really helped a lot of people develop new skills. And I think the crux here was that we didn't even know what we didn't know. So we didn't know that these new skills were there for us to learn. We were very skeptical. And, we just need more time in the day. We just need more time in the schedule to get things cleaned up, figure things out. When in fact, we could make ourselves more efficient, more effective by learning new skills. And so this is another one, especially if you're a manager, because this is very important. You need to allow your employees to spend a particular amount of time learning these new skills or doing something very new or disruptive. Because if you book 100% of their time as an employee on the day-to-day, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, they will never personally develop. They will never get new skills. So you have to set aside time in your mental model of your team's schedule for this type of thing. Okay, now bullet 3 says positive thinking. Reframing challenges positively can lead to new ideas and breakthroughs. Yeah, and this is a good point. I mean, it gets to what I was saying with the last example where a bunch of people in the team sort of have this negative opinion of things and didn't want to give this new training a chance. Something similar happened to me, earlier in my career as well. We were in a meeting and it's like, okay, this tool chain or this process allows our team, it works in a particular way. There's a particular set of tools and they work in a particular way. And that may not be amenable for what we want to do next. We may need more things. We may need more output. We may need more or a different way of doing it because of the way technology changes over time. And, someone in the meeting was very much like, oh, well, we should just go over here and take this tool and change it or something like that. I can't really remember. But I was sitting there like, you're never going to get anybody to change this thing. Like it works a certain way. You can't just change it. You can't just go add something. And I remember sitting in the meeting feeling pretty negative about it. And then this guy went off and talked to the right people and got it done. And so I think if you just have a positive approach to something and you can demonstrate that positive approach or that positive attitude to the other people in your organization or the people you work with in other organizations, it can be infectious. And maybe you can get things done that you never thought you could. Okay, now the fourth bullet here, let's get onto this one. This one says growth mindset. Adopting a growth mindset can help people see challenges as chances for personal development. Yeah, exactly. And this is another one where, as a manager, again, over time, if you have your team, and it can be very tempting to pigeonhole your employees. Like person A works on technology X, person B works on technology Y. They're the expert. That's all they do. That's their tasks. It's very structured. And this can be good when you're ramping up new people or ramping up and learning a new project or just getting started. It can be very good. But long term, as your employees develop expertise, as you develop more expertise, you will want to develop some growth that goes beyond the, okay, I've got employee A and they work on project X or technology X, and that's it. Okay. It can be often a very good idea to look for opportunities where you can go do something different or tangential to what you work on day to day. This can be a place where you will learn new skills, grow your personal network, accomplish things that maybe somebody else couldn't accomplish because you know the, you're going to assign an employee and now that employee is taking a fresh look at a problem and maybe they're the one that's going to solve it. So it can be good to look for these opportunities to give your employees these development opportunities. The other thing about that is the oversight. So I remember a coworker of mine was kind of curious why I didn't attend a particular work group. And it was because the work group was in an area that I was trying to, make sure one of my employees could be the go-to contact, the team lead, the company expert, whatever it was in the context we were working in. And so what I did was I said, look, this guy's got to sink or swim in this work group. I can't be there to hold his hand to have oversight over everything. We meet once a week. If he has a problem, he'll let me know. If somebody else has a problem, they'll let me know. If somebody else has a question, I can answer it. But I don't need to go to a meeting every week and just watch my employees because they're there. They can represent our team. And so this delegation is one way to help your employees develop a growth mindset, or for you as a manager to develop a growth mindset. And so keep that in mind because I think delegation can be one of the hardest things to do for a new manager because we're so used to coming into a job and doing everything ourselves and figuring out how to do everything ourselves that it can be tough to figure out the best way to delegate and what to delegate. So that's another one to think about in more detail. Okay, so let's see. I think that's about it. I mean, I think these are some good stories. I had some good stories. And just keep this in mind. Keep it in the back of your mind as a manager as you're developing your team. And I think you won't go wrong. This was a quick one, guys, but I just wanted to cover this very simple topic how challenges are opportunities in disguise and go over it. If you have any questions or comments, concerns, ideas, put them in the comments section. Leave a like on the like button, subscribe. If you want to buy me a coffee, there's a link in the description as well. I do a new management best practices video every Tuesday, and then in between, all sorts of other random things from playing video games to tricking out my RV for van life in the future. And it's just an interesting time, guys. Interesting time here at the beginning of 2025. It's January 13th. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for your time. This is Bruce from Oregon. Have a good one.